What up, socialites? Welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo.
I'm going to be in Milwaukee this Thursday. Then all weekend, I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm with Sam, by the way. Sam Salem is going to be with me all weekend. And then San Francisco next Friday. And then the weekend after that, the last weekend of February, first weekend of March, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then Providence, Rhode Island. Then Timonium, Maryland, Spokane, Salt Lake City, Vegas, Dania Beach, Washington, D.C., Calgary, Rochester, New York, Pittsburgh, Denver, and then my wedding. And some other fun stuff in there that, wait, what's the date today? Nope, I haven't announced it yet. But there's a cool one in there that's coming up. Keep your eyes out.
Is it the same one that I might be announcing too?
It is the same one you might be announcing too. I will be announcing that this Wednesday. So keep your eyes peeled. Gaspar, what you got?
I will be in Queens, New York City, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Phoenix, San Diego, Poughkeepsie, New Brunswick, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Chicago, Long Island, Tampa, and Staten Island, and a few other places in the works, like maybe even one in Joe's hometown in the works.
What?
And I know.
Are you going to do House of Comedy?
Not your current hometown. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you off air.
Oh, damn.
Things are in the works. I'm just waiting for some dates.
You know, my mom and dad will for sure be at that.
So that's all I need is 2 people to come.
That's so cool. Anyway, you guys, I wanted to give you a nice big welcome to True Crime Month.
Dun, dun.
Gaspar, so we told the Patreon fans to give us some true crime stories to look into. By the way, you guys, you can become Patreon fans at patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast, keeping the podcast on the air and getting cool perks along the way. We appreciate all of our Patreonies, so thank you so much.
We're going to have a live Zoom coming up kind of soon.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, a live Zoom hangout. So there's a lot of you in there, so it'll be fun. We could all hang out, talk, bullshit. So
now, I put in there for the Patreonies, I was like, yo, give us some good cases to look at. I did not think that they were going to be giving us cases that they're like actually connected to, which is wild. Now,
that's been
one of our fans, Eliza, there's an abandoned amusement park in her hometown called Dreamland Park. Have you ever heard of it?
Wait, no.
Okay, well, anyway.
But I have a crazy story about Dreamland Park, but go ahead.
Seriously? The same Dreamland Park?
No, not about Dreamland Park, but about an abandoned amusement park.
Well, is it Dreamland Park?
No.
Well, just
it's called Holy Land, USA, I think. Yeah.
I think I've heard of it. Is it in Florida? And it's basically a Bible-themed amusement park with roller coasters for the Lord and stuff?
It's in Waterbury, Connecticut. And it was like this religious Hollywood, right? And they built it and it's abandoned today. So it's in Connecticut. So I went there. I was driving and I was like, no way. So I saw signs, but it's all abandoned. So I go to it anyway. And there's just all stray dogs running it. And it's pretty weird. It's actually super weird. Stray dogs, stray.
Just running all over the place?
Yeah, there was a lot of stray dogs, but instead of a Hollywood sign outside, the big Hollywood sign, it says Holy Land. And it's just this religious themed
When did you do
park.
this?
I'm going to say 18, 19.
Yeah. Wow. Damn,
but it's
I would have went in for sure.
It's built straight up, built like Jerusalem, but in the middle of Connecticut.
Were the dogs mean?
I didn't want to get to know them. You know what I mean?
I probably would have tried to get to know them.
No, I was scared because it's you're just oh, stray dogs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I say, ooh, stray dogs, get in my car and be my friend.
No, they'll kill you. So.
Okay. Anyway.
With rabies.
So now, not talking about the Holy Land. I'm talking about Dreamland. Here we
Okay.
go. Gaspare, honestly, that article was way too long, and I need to go read it on my... It's very interesting, but it's so long that I need to read it on my own and come back to the table and hit you with the bullet points. I thought it was about one murder. It's about like a bunch of murders that happened in this Dreamland place. Anyway, Gaspare, so what else? I guess I'll pick that up at another time. So sorry.
Yeah, well, anyway, but in that same town of Waterbury, Connecticut, where I went to Holy Land, USA, there was actually... So did you ever go on roadsideamerica.com?
No,
like
but I got
you get the idea of it. It's like all like oddities, like Holy Land, USA, and all these places. So one of them was this place in, I think it was Waterbury or Canterbury, Connecticut. And it was a town where a person who was like a little person, he was married to another little person, and she got really sick and had cancer or something. And while she was in the process of getting sicker, he like promised to build her like this kingdom in the woods. And he built like this like mini little castle in the woods. And there's a throne, there's like a waterway system, and there's all these little houses. But it's really little. Like everything's super little. It's like, made for someone who's a little person. And I've got to walk through a trail through the woods to find it. And I went with like my ex-girlfriend at the time. We parked, we followed this like directions. They were like, walk through the cornfield, cut here, do this, do that. And then we eventually ended up at this little place. And like, there's all beer cans now, of course, and all craziness. But it was just crazy.
Horrifying, actually.
Yeah. So
anyway, well, let's talk about this other true crime thing that happened. For those of you who watch Gaspar's employer, Netflix, they recently released American Nightmare, which if you listen to Let's Watch TV, the other podcast that I do with my mom, we kind of broke that show down. You and I have yet to actually talk about it, and I have two words: holy shit.
So, for those of you who don't know, we won't sit and do a full summary of the show, but for those of you who don't know, guy and a girl, they're dating. Girl, in the middle of the night, the guy and the girl were having some relationship problems. He was like still texting his ex-girlfriend. In the middle of the night, someone breaks into the house. They break into the house. They get in the house and they are coming in wetsuits. Okay, supposedly. They come in wetsuits. They call by the other girl's name. They're like, we're looking for Karen, who's the ex-girlfriend's name. But they're like, sorry, we got to take you. They take this girl. They tell the guy, don't you go anywhere. They put cameras around the room. They're like, if we see you do anything, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill her. Then they take the girl, and she's basically brought to a house where she's like kind of not treated the worst thing ever. Like they treated her like semi-okay for like a day. And then they rape her. But like even the way she describes the rape is kind of like, hey, I'm only doing this because they're making me do this, because otherwise they're gonna do worse to me. So like maybe
it was very weird. The way it was done, it was like super tactful, manipulative rape, where he was kind of making it like,
I don't want to do this.
He was a good guy. He was almost trying to make himself seem like a good guy, even though he was a horrible human. Like it was psychological warfare.
Like he's like, if I don't do this, the people who are watching me will do something way worse. So like, I have to do this. And so then like after a day or 2 days, he just releases her and he drives her like 400 miles to her dad's house and then just pops open the trunk. Open the trunk and she just walks home. So she goes to the police. Now the boyfriend has been in questioning and he explains the whole thing and they're like, no, we don't believe you. You murdered her. You threw her body in the river. We don't want to hear anything. And they just straight up dismiss everything this guy says. Right? I'm not missing anything. Yeah.
Then to sum it up even further, because a summary from Gaspare Randazzo is actually a dissertation, she comes in, and now they're like, this is a hoax. You two are in cahoots. It's fake. And the police, instead of listening to them and hunting down what they're saying, which they should have followed those leads to rule out that it's true or not. Instead, they just went after these two and tried to find leads and prove that they were, it was a hoax. Now, yes, there's a couple things that super pissed me off about this case. First of all, I've said it on the podcast before. I will say it again. The criminal justice system is not real in this country. If you have enough money, you can buy your way out of anything. We see it again here. Okay. Number one thing that pissed me off. She comes in. Her lawyers are like, she's been raped. She needs a rape kit immediately. The police say, no, she needs to come in for questioning first before we even discuss her getting the rape kit. That is
insane.
That is the most insane malpractice of a profession that I've ever fucking heard. Literally, like this person is telling you where they were raped, that if they were or not, give them the kit so you have the information that you need. Either way, the fact that they waited so many hours to put her through this rigorous testing and questioning made everything void from the results of her kit, which is insane.
Like, the other crazy part, and it was so sad because she's like, here I was thinking I got away from the guy, and now like I'm going to bring him to justice and like my life's going to get better. And she's like, oh no, it's got worse. Like I got out and I was not only raped and tortured, I was then slandered through the mud saying that everything I said was fake. And then they're like not even letting her and the boyfriend even interact with each other because they're saying like, oh, they're in cahoots. We can't have them talk. But like, here's the thing. Let's play devil's advocate. From a other side of the coin, from like the other side of the coin, like the cops were looking at it and they're saying like, like the cops are looking at it and they're like, you're coming in here saying that the guy was in a wetsuit. Like we never heard of that ever in our lives. Like, you know what I mean? But on the flip side, people are fucking weird. You know what I mean?
I thought
like
the same thing.
Like people, and like there was like the cops were defending themselves by saying like, well, you're saying that he was asking for your ex-girlfriend. Like, so I find it weird that like they never further question that. Like, why was this guy?
Oh my God. And then the FBI gets involved and the agent who is the FBI agent used to date the ex-girlfriend. It was like,
that part was
what's
weird.
What's that called? It's not nepotism. That's when you get hired for a job that you're related to.
It's like a
conflict of interest.
Oh, it's a conflict of interest for sure. But
huge.
Like, so this poor girl goes through all this crap and then nobody believes her story. And then finally she does give a description. She does give whatever details she can, but it's like finally 10 months later, it happens again. Somebody breaks into a house in a wetsuit, takes a kid, and leaves his cell phone on the counter or something weird like that. And then they call the cell phone and they're like, oh, your son left his cell phone. And the mom's like, oh, sure, drop it off at his house. And the FBI hit up the guy's house. The guy admits to it, but like the guy never admits like if he was with other people, because don't they originally say that he was with people?
I'll get to that.
And the other thing is like they tried getting on the girl about like, well, why didn't you scream? But like the truth that when you were being taken out of the house, but like it's a fucking horrifying experience. If someone's holding a gun up to you, telling you, shut up, you're not like, oh yeah, I'm just going to start screaming. And then what? You get killed? You're just going to do what they say. And they said like, oh, the guy didn't leave his house right away or whatever the case was. Yeah, like the guy, there's a webcam in the corner and they tell him, if you leave this circle, we will kill your girlfriend. And you're assuming someone's watching that webcam. So like things, as crazy as it seems, like clearly it worked. You know what I mean? Because it let the guy get away for a while.
The part about there's other people involved, you said, didn't they say there were other people involved? He said, the crazy guy who did all this, he was telling her, there's other people. There's other people.
No,
here.
no, I thought they were tied up in the house or something. Like originally, I thought there was more. He was
saying they're gonna go do this. They're down there doing this. I'm checking out. Like I bet he was downstairs telling her they're upstairs doing this to him, and then he'd go upstairs and he'd be like, they're downstairs. It was just him working alone the whole time, just psycho. Now the part that's fucking crazy to me too is that one police officer was able to like find a single hair and do some analysis.
Yeah, that one woman who just was like
together. She was like, I need to figure this out. It's so crazy to me that like the break-ins were so alarmingly similar and actually not that far away from each other, and that they couldn't put it together faster.
But what's so sad is that like if they had just listened to this lady in the first place, none of that second break-in. That child doesn't have to like get kidnapped. When the
guy came in for questioning, after you guys, the crazy person sat him on a couch, put tape around him, and a security camera said, when you leave, I'll kill her or whatever, right? He calls the police, breaks through, goes to the police, gives his testimony. And when he's giving them his testimony, he tells the police, the fucking crazy guy is trying to get ransom money from me. He said he's going to call me. So what do the police do when he's in questioning? They put his fucking phone in airplane mode. And when his phone was in airplane mode, the crazy guy called him twice. And if they had the phone on, they would have been able to ping those calls, find his location, and the girl never would have been raped the second time, which is unbelievable, because then the cop who is the lead on all of this got Cop of the Year for the department.
And wait, we left out another key thing. While they're in the middle of all this, the news is calling it like the biggest hoax. These people are liars. And the guy is straight up emailing. The crazy guy is emailing them. The news
reporters.
The reporters.
And the police aren't taking it.
He's saying it's not a hoax. Like, it was real. Like,
and I'm going to do it again.
And I'm going to do it again. And they were like, yep, this is just their way of trying to discredit us and, like, make their story feel more believable. Now, here's the thing. I will say this, when you're watching the show, you are not really sure. Like, Netflix does a great job of making you not sure, like, are they telling the truth or are they not? Because, like, they make sure to show the discrepancies, like, and make it like, hey, this is weird. What this guy's saying, this is weird. So like they play both sides, but like even like when Melissa and I were watching it, and the guy the news reporter gets the email, and it's like, I'm the one who did it, and I'm gonna do it again. Melissa and I are like, all right, they have to be. Melissa's like, this has to be a hoax. Like these people are emailing the reporters trying to take the scent off their trail. But it's not like, do you remember the case of Son of Sam? Do you know?
I did watch the movie.
So Son of Sam is like, that's like growing up in Brooklyn.
Same thing. Yeah.
Growing up in Brooklyn, like Son of Sam is like Brooklyn lore. I think it was the summer of 76. Like Son of Sam was going out and killing women in cars who would park along this place called Shore Road, which like I've been there many times. It's like right by the water. You people park their car there, hook up, whatever. You'd go there, you'd hang out with your friends. And he was going up to girls and he was like shooting like blonde women, I think it was. So like women were like literally dyeing their hair. They were wearing wigs. And there was all these rumors of who it could be, who it wasn't. Finally, Son of Sam started writing messages to the cops underneath the overpass on the bridge, on the highway. He was straight up writing them like, I am Son of Sam. I did it. I will do it again. And people still, I mean, people were taking it serious, but like these people want credit for what they do. You know what I mean? Like they're not doing it to just do it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think like this guy probably felt like he was like a genius with his plan. And now all of a sudden it's getting called a hoax. So he's probably like pissed off that, you know what I mean? It is really crazy.
It is unbelievable. And Morgan and I were even, when we were watching this, we're like, isn't it crazy that some people have the capability of like doing fucking shit like this to another person? It's psycho.
And like well, that's a whole nother conversation. And like what's sad is like these people, like this woman is going to clearly like need therapy for the rest of her life.
Well,
you know,
not
like
only
the
that, like,
kids, like anybody he was involved with is going to need it. And you know where they can get therapy? Through BetterHelp. Therapy isn't only useful when a relationship is completely on the rocks. It's also helpful when things are going smoothly. And the best relationships happen when both people put in the work to make them great. And BetterHelp can get you there. BetterHelp is online therapy that can be done anytime, anywhere. You set the schedule, and your therapist can talk to you via video call, phone, or even text message. No matter how you like to communicate or what kind of availability you have, BetterHelp is flexible and ready to work with you. And think about it. You're busy. You're on the road. You're living your life. You're a teacher. You got kids. You make the schedule. So in the middle of cooking dinner, you could jump on a quick call. You don't have to go anywhere physically. So visit. If you're thinking about getting BetterHelp, definitely give BetterHelp a try. So visit BetterHelp.com/social studies today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/social studies. So anyway.
There we go. Anyway, I do just think it's psychotic and it's wild. It's hard to watch. It's hard to stomach. And yeah, that is true crime.
Also, Joe, listen, and unfortunately, there, a lot of people are, a lot of people get crazy. And listen, right now I'm seeing it with like a lot of the cast members of the show that I was on, The Trust on Netflix. I see that like everybody's going on different podcasts. Everybody's telling their own story, their own narrative, and I think a big part of it is people, you're perceived a certain way online. You're perceived a certain way on the show. And like, I think when the show airs, people want to like go out there and clear their name and definitely like change the narrative of what was said about them, what was written about them, and I think that unfortunately you have 11 people telling their side of the story to the public. You know what I mean? So there's no like right or wrong. It's, hey, this is how I felt. This is what I thought. And all these people are going out. So like right now I'm seeing it a lot with my cast. And I know you are too. And some of you at home might be seeing it too. People are all going after each other. People are going after me. People are saying, oh, well, you went on a podcast and said A, B, and C, and that's not how it happened. But like, that's how it happened to me. So I'm saying what happened on my end. I don't know. Joe,
people are losing it. No chill.
I also think like people are trying to, like this was a cool thing, and they're like want to still talk about it, and that's fine. But like, I guess talking about the show over and over again gets redundant. So you got to kind of like stir the pot a little. So
it's all about that pot stir.
So,
Gas. We do have some emails from the fans, and I would love to read them.
Before we do an email, Joe, I did find this list of things, and I know how we both like lists, so I wanted to go over it with you.
Oh, okay, sure.
So it's a good list. It's fun. It's the best D things, the best things that begin with the letter D. So we're going to do it together right now. I'm going to go through the list, and you are going to come up with a winner. I'll keep the points. All right. Dogs or dinosaurs?
Dogs.
Oof. I'm going to say dinosaurs.
Because you have no soul.
No, because dinosaurs literally, think about a dinosaur, Joe. They're literally the size of your house. They have this leathery skin, potentially. They are all different colors. They make noises. think about this. What noise does a dinosaur? How do they even know what a dinosaur noise is?
Because they have vocal cord fossils.
They have throat fossils.
Let's just say this, everybody. Gaspare Randazzo's clearly starting to feel better if we're talking about dinosaur throat fossils.
So I have COVID. So the throat, I think when they found the throats, they were able to identify what sound would have come out of it based on the size of their throat fossil.
Oof.
Clearly uninterested. Gotcha.
Got
All
that
right.
big ass throat fossil.
So this next one, I knew that was coming. This next one is double
Dinos
D.
give him throat.
Well, think about it, because they had to go up against another dinosaur. Did they ever find a dinosaur penis?
Dick? I was literally just thinking that too.
Dude,
I'm looking it up right now.
Think about how big a horse is. Look, Joe was busy on his phone for the last 5 minutes. I mentioned dinosaur dick, and now Joe all of a sudden he's in.
I was not busy on my phone. That was terrible. I was.
He's invested. He heard dinosaur dick. Is it a picture come up?
Dinosaurs probably had courtship rituals, like Triceratops would lock their horns together to fight over mates. Penis size is unknown, judging from the different sizes of the dinosaur relatives, though. A Tyrannosaurus Rex might have had a penis that ranged anywhere from 10 inches to 12 feet. Could you imagine that big-ass dinosaur having a 10-inch penis? It would literally be, it's like a micro penis. Or that's
it's even more micro, because they're massive.
I was literally at this is too much.
You were at the museum and you saw one and you thought it was a slide?
No, I was at the zoo. I was in I don't even remember what city I was in, but I was at the zoo. And the elephant walked by, dick out, literally to the floor.
It's always out.
Dick was as big as me. It was insane. Insane.
I wonder, this is so weird. I wonder if you just jumped up
and grabbed it. How many bees tall is it, right?
If you just jumped up and was swinging on it, would he even know? Would he be ugh, get you off? Or would it just be like an ant on mine?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if 10 ants locked arms around mine, I wouldn't feel it. Unless they were fire ants. Then I might like it.
10 ants locked arms around.
Well, I'm talking about big ants. And who said they went all around? Who said they went all around? I'm just saying if they were hovering around the base while soft. All right.
This is insane.
All right, let's go to the next one.
This is absolutely insane.
All right. Double D's or doctors?
What's double D's?
That's a woman's breast size. Similar how I didn't know about the circuit today. Whatever the circuit is.
Gaze. I had to teach him what circuit gaze are. Gaspar, doctors?
Double D's. I mean, listen, we all have our preferences.
I guess.
My mom listens, so I can't elaborate. All right, but you're going to go with doctors.
We'll talk about dinosaur penis, yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's obvious for you. You
also, my future mother-in-law listens too. She just told me that she said, congratulations on the trust. And she was also saying, she's actually landing. She's getting here tonight. She said that it was hilarious watching us talk about froggers and me thinking that someone was living in the house, and you kept freaking me out, telling me that people were living in my walls and shit.
Oh, I forgot we even talked about that. All right. Dads or Drake?
Dads.
100. Yeah, that's an easy one. All right. That's a lock. All right. Then, because Drake honestly sucks. Dip.
Drake started from the bottom. Now he's here.
Dips, like food dips, or dens, like a den you hang out in.
Dips, for sure.
Dips. Yeah, that's a definite one too. Although I do like a good den, like when my friends.
I do love a good den, but I would love to eat a good dip. You can't go you need the dips in the den.
What's the best dip?
Depends
on the mood.
Depends on the mood. But I mean, the best dip is hummus. It's very versatile.
I like hummus, but it's not the best. I would say that's when I'm like, let me eat healthy.
The best dip. First of all, you know that like where I'm from in Michigan is close to Dearborn, Michigan, which is the Arabic capital of the United States. And there's a lot of good Lebanese food and a lot of good like all sorts of Arabic. Oh my God.
It's not in New York?
Like, no, it's Dearborn, Michigan. Anyway.
Wow.
Lebanese food and Arabic food sometimes comes with this garlic sauce that's sometimes called toum, sometimes not. But it's essentially just cloves and cloves and cloves of garlic pureed with like lemon juice and some oil. And it's the consistency of hummus, just fucking garlic. It is the most, you could breathe a vampire into oblivion after you eat this shit, but it is the best. And that, I will say, is the best dip that you'll ever have in your whole fucking life.
I like Trader Joe's Buffalo Ranch dip.
Really? It'd be really boring podcast too.
Buffalo, it's like a buffalo chicken dip. It's also late and I have COVID. So,
yeah.
Wait, speaking of like good foods and stuff, I recently got a Factor meal. I don't know if you ever heard about Factor.
I have heard of it. I've actually been sponsored on my own podcast from them.
Oh, yeah, because it's time to work smarter, but not harder. Okay? Don't spend hours meal planning, shopping, chopping veggies, cooking, doing dishes. Veggies.
You don't want to
Factor has delicious, ready-to-eat meals that are chef-crafted,
delicious,
dietitian approved,
dietitian
straight to your door.
To your door.
Okay,
straight to your door.
Let me just tell you something, Joe. With over 35 meal options to choose from each week, you'll never get bored.
Straight to your door.
With a midday snack, smoothies, wellness shots, you'll be on your A game all day long. Okay, Joe, let me tell you something. They did send me a box of the wellness shots. Okay, did you ever take a wellness shot?
Yeah, I love them.
Yes, they did. Scout's honor. So I took wellness shots. So the first time I ever took a wellness shot.
What kind?
I'll tell you them all. The first time I ever took one, I was at this like vendor event. My wife was selling jewelry, and this girl was like, I make these out of my trunk. And it was like Kanye pepper and a whole bunch of other shit.
Honestly, foodborne illness.
And I took it.
Everyone get them from Factor. Don't get it from some woman's
I literally was like, oh my God, but my sinuses were clear. The ones from Factor, first off, they sent me 3 different ones. They sent me 2 of each. One was Kanye pepper, lemon juice, and a bunch of other stuff. The other one was like spinach, kale, whatever. And then there was another one. I forgot what the flavor was. I'm not going to lie to you. I took all 3 of them. Like I took them all week. I felt great. Like it helps with your digestive system. That very much helped. Like I was like, whoa, this is very digestive-y. And I felt like honestly, as soon as I would drink it like 6:30 in the morning, it would literally like clear up all my sinuses, everything. Like everything. Like I was like, it like blasted me when I took it. So anyway, so I really enjoyed the wellness shots. The meals themselves they're perfectly like everything about them. They're a full meal and they're all pretty damn delicious. So
love that.
So Factor is a way less expensive than takeout and takes much less time than waiting at a drive-thru. All you need to do is heat up the meal for 2 minutes and you are all set. No prepping, no cooking, no cleanup, nothing. So head over to factormeals.com/socialstudies50 and use code socialstudies50 to get 50% off. That's code
50%.
That's half. Such code socialstudies50 at factormeals.com/socialstudies50 to get 50% off.
Hit me with another D or D.
A D or D. All right. So we are.
And then I got an email for us.
Well, wait. But now we're almost done. And then we're going to have to have a. So, all right. We'll make these ones quick. Dinner or dozing off? Dozing off.
Dinner.
Oh. Okay. I love a good doze off.
I love a good meal.
Yeah, I guess
Have you heard of Factor?
I'm going to go with dinner too. I like eating more than I like sleeping. Drinking or dreaming? Dreaming.
Dreaming.
Oh, Joe. All right. Diners, drive-ins, and dives, or dumplings? Diners, dive-ins, and
Diners.
Dives. 100%. Yeah. That's an easy one. Delis or dunks? Like basketball dunks.
Delis.
Delis also. All right. Easy. Okay. Ready? Now we got to do it like this. Ready, Joe? Dogs or doctors? What do you like better? Oh, shit. That's a hard one for you.
This is fucked up. You're going to do this to me like this now?
Mm-hmm.
I got to choose between the ones I love?
Do you love doctors?
No, I love dogs.
All right. So dogs. For me, it's dinosaurs or double D's. Oh, double D's. I never met a dinosaur. So, all right. Next, we got dads or dips, Joe.
Dads.
I'm going to go dads too. 15 and 10. We got diners and dreams, Joe. Diners and dreams.
Diner.
Diner. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we have diners and drives or delis.
Deli.
Really? I'm surprised by you. I'm going diners. All right. So now, Joe, dogs or dads?
Dogs.
Wow, over your own father.
No, not like that.
Nope, that's what you said. Diners.
No, you're looking at dads like your dad. I'm
diners
dads like
or delis?
daddies.
Joe, dinner? Dinner or delis?
Dinner.
Okay. Finally, dogs versus dinner.
Dogs.
So, dogs. Unfortunately, while I was doing it, I also did my version of it. And I didn't want it to be this way, but double D's came in first. So I guess at the end of the day, I didn't
save it for straight pride, you grossy.
I didn't want to go into this with my mom on the pod, but apparently I have all D things that came in first.
There you go.
All right.
You guys, we love getting emails from you. It's one of the best things ever. You can send your wild ass emails to thesocialstudiespodcast@gmail.com. This one's called Target Employee equals, ma'am, are you okay? Hey guys, I'm late to the podcast, but I've been binging so much. I'm almost caught up. I love you guys.
Almost caught up. There's like 300 episodes. I love that.
And I'm one of those people that talk back like we're sitting around just gabbing together.
I love that
I do
too.
sometimes let a chuckle slip when I'm out in public, but normally I can control it.
That's good. Make sure you tell them.
I was not prepared for the 800-mile-per-hour fart conversation.
Oh, gosh, you went way back.
I happened to be in Target and unfortunately was squatting down looking at a lower shelf, and Joe started talking about levitating and shooting yourself to Africa, and I was trying to hide my laughter, but it was not working, and I ended up snorting and shaking and tried to steady myself by grabbing the cart. It didn't happen. The cart shot out, crashing into a display, and I fell on the floor. The nearest employee ran over to me and said, "Ma'am, are you okay? Are you hurt?" "Nope, just laughing at a podcast." I don't think I was too convincing with the tears that were in my face, though. Anyway, I grabbed my cart and I got the hell out of there. I don't know how I can go back. Love you guys, and hopefully I won't get injured listening to any more episodes.
Well,
she did not say if we can use her name, but thank you so much. And this happened 3 days ago.
I just want to say, number one, thank you for joining us, and catching up. That's amazing that you're doing that. So I appreciate that. Number two, I hope that when you guys are laughing at the podcast, that you guys tell people what the podcast is. And also, please, if you're listening, go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anything, and please leave us a review, a good one. If it's not a good one, don't leave it. But if you like it, please leave a review on the podcast, because it really does help us. It gives us more traction. It gets us more, I don't know, more people listening.
More good. It gets us more good.
More better.
More better help.
We get more better helps if you guys listen. If you review it.
You guys, hey, that's what we got for you this week. Love you so much. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Again, you can support us by becoming a Patreon fan and getting Patreon perks at patreon.com/The Social Studies Podcast. Again, come see me on the road at thejoedombrowski.com.
or GaspareRandazzo.com. And if you join Patreon, we are going to be setting up a live Zoom event again pretty soon. Maybe a little Valentine's themed one. Joe and I will light a candle for each other. Talk about double D's and dogs. We got to do another list of C words.
Maybe we don't. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.